there are 3 things I can confidently say that you need if you want to play Commander. And, well, we've already gone over one of them, which is how to play Commander. And there are 2 others. The other one is building a deck, which we might go over if this video, if this video gets 5 likes, then I will do a podcast, that video episode coming up that talks about how to build a Commander deck. And the third one, which we're going to talk about today, and which you probably know unless you were so excited to watch, we still don't know what the name of the podcast is yet. So please still comment on the other video what you want to be, because I don't know what you guys want. I might just name it something random. Yeah, sorry. All right, but yeah, but politics and negotiations. If you were so excited to click and watch right now Magic Zone, the Magic Zone podcast, that you didn't even look at the title, you were just so excited, you're like, I'm so excited, let's watch right now, and clicked it. Well, we're talking about politics and negotiations today. And yeah, I have a few paragraphs that I want to talk to you about. But before we do that, I need to talk about Discord, because I still need you guys to go and join my Discord server so I can talk with you and you can talk with other people on it. But also, so I can shout out one person on that Discord server. That's what I do. Or, no, shout out was the wrong word. More like dedicate an episode to. So I would dedicate a podcast episode to one of you guys out there. If you, all you have to do is join my Discord server, and I will shout out your Discord server name. I just found a dice in the couch. But yeah, but right now I'm going to shout out me because I'm the only one on that server. So yeah, if you guys want to join, please do. This episode is about politics and negotiations. I still apologize that I did not upload last week. I felt horrible though, and my voice was scratchy, and I was coughing and sneezing and this and that. The common cold's going around, so yeah, sorry about that. Moving on to the two pick. Let's see. Found it. So, one thing, if you're one of those people who's like, I got into Magic the Gathering and I'm not really good at it, but I figured out that if I buy better cards than everyone else, then I will win more often than not. Which is true in other formats, because if you buy a $30 creature and it's pretty big and enormous and you play them, you know that creature's coming at you, or a spell, or whatever. But if you... The basics of politics and negotiations is like this. So let's say Jimmy was sitting over here, okay? Random name, by the way. Popped into my head. I named one of my characters off Jimmy. Point is, let's say he was sitting over there, right? He looked at me. And he said, I'm going to attack you with my 5/5 flyer in the air. And away I can say, well, why would you do that? I've got less life total than, let's say, Bob sitting across from you. And he has no flyers. And I don't have any either, but he poses a higher threat, but he has ground creatures. Like, you throw out stuff. You use anything and everything to your advantage, right? If you see that someone has mana open, say, why don't you attack them? Because they have mana open. They might use a spell on you, or this, or that. I don't know. Anything and everything. Even if it's something outside of the game of Magic the Gathering. For example, let's say you and your friends all went bowling, okay? And you lost the game because you were on your last rolling set or whatever, bowling, and you had the ball, and you got ready to bowl it, and you were right about bullet, and then your one friend screamed at you, and you completely messed it up, and it went spiraling. You still did good, but you didn't come in first, and if you did do well, and you didn't get messed up by your friend, you would have probably came in first. Then you can say, well, then you can say, well, he over there messed up your score. You should attack him. Then I'd be more incentivized to attack him because I was mad at him for something else that he did. So use anything and everything to your advantage. And that's really, really important. Really, extremely, extremely, extremely. All right. Another thing that those people we call spike players, like spiky. You like the people who buy the biggest expensive cards, but that doesn't work in Commander because now it only doesn't work in Commander because Commander is like I think the only multiplayer game of Magic the Gathering. You can do a multiplayer game of Standard, and I mean I guess Draft, but like it doesn't like. It doesn't work well with 1v1 games because if they play a spell that says deal 5 damage to target player, you know that's coming at you. When you can politic with someone else, let's say that. So yeah. Another thing, if you are a spike who let's say you get targeted, all right? Let's say you get targeted, all right? You get targeted in your play group. Something that you should try to do, or almost definitely, is don't play your biggest, scariest creature on turn 3. Don't combo out and play your biggest, scariest creature. Because that will make you public enemy number 1 for everyone else at the table. Be like, uh-oh, they just played the biggest, scariest thing. We don't have anything out except for a bunch of lands, maybe a 1/1 or a 2/2 or something like that. And that's coming at one of us next turn. You want to... Don't do that. Because you will most definitely get targeted. And that is not good. Because if you get targeted, you will most likely lose. And if you lose, then you will be sad. You get my point. Alright. Picture this, alright? You and your friends, you are not the spike in this picture. You and your friends come together and sit for a game of Friday Night Commander Magic, alright? And, no, you are the spike. Let's say that. No, you don't know you're the spike, alright? So, you sit down and you say, well, over the week, I acquired some really cool cards, and I put them in this deck, this deck, and this deck. Don't do that, because you are literally basically saying, I have really powerful cards. Come and target me. Okay? That's basically what you're doing. That's like walking into that's like walking into a pack of orcs saying, I'm meaty. Don't eat me. They're obviously going to eat you. Or you're a steak with a hungry dad or child or whatever. And they're going to eat you, alright? That's just what they're going to do. Same thing in Magic. If you say, I bought this card and this card over the weekend, they're really, really good and really, really powerful, they're going to be like, uh-oh, we better target him so he doesn't play it. That's not good. Also, don't talk about past wins, because that's it. If you say, oh, I went to a championship over the summer, and I got 3rd place out of everyone there, and it was a world championship. Or something like that. Or, oh, I've gotten 4 wins or something. Or I comboed out on this guy on turn 4. So don't say that. Don't say any of that. Why? Because then they will be like, uh-oh, target him, target him, target him. That's just what's going to happen. That's people's natural responses to things. Alright? It just is. Like, it's like everyone else wore black, okay? On a day to a play outside, alright? And you're the only person who wore pink. you are clearly the target, alright? Because everyone sees you, everyone knows who you are, even if they don't. Because they'll be like, oh, that guy, he's in pink. Alright? So, like, that's why. So, like, you will literally stick out. If you say to everyone, I did this, this, and this, and this, alright? They will be like, uh-oh, target him, target him, target him. Same thing. Let's say you were playing paintball and you still had pink on and everyone else had black. Then they'd probably target you because you have pink on and I don't know. All right? And yeah, it's really important to do all that because it's extremely, 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 extremely important. Another thing that you might want to try to do, if you are the spike in your group and everyone else knows it, then here's a piece of advice. If whatever you play, whatever you do on the battlefield, there are 3 other people sitting there. Someone's going to notice if you have 4 mana open. Someone's going to notice if you have 1. Someone's going to notice if you have 2. Alright? Everything registers through the human mind. That's just how a human mind works. Whether consciously or subconsciously, everybody, their brain says they played that and keeps it in the back of their head. All right. So yeah, that's really, really important. And if you see, all right, something that can help you get out of this scenario. If you see someone play their commander, all right, or someone's about to play their commander, or let's say you're playing against a Tiamat deck, okay, and it's turn 5, and they have enough mana next turn to cast their commander. You can say that to everybody. Hey, group meeting. This guy, we're going to call him Timmy. Timmy is about to play his commander next turn, Tiamat. And that will be bad for us, because he'll get the biggest, scariest dragons in his deck. And that's really important. We got to, maybe we should attack him a bit, and, like, so he can be kept under control, alright? If you see anything big or bad, say it. The players will most likely agree to you. Unless it's like, hey, I see a soul ring over there, and something like that. That would be ridiculous. You will most likely be pinning all the like, I'm going to stare at you look on someone else, so that you are good to go and you don't get targeted. So the other people get targeted instead of you. Say stuff like, let's say you're on turn 7, all right, and everyone else has 7, 8, maybe more mana, and you've got 6, all right. You can say stuff as you're about to draw your card. Come on, mana any day now, or, and is it land? And then you can act like, like, if you do that, the players will be like, I just feel bad for him, like, because you aren't having fun. Someone's not going to come up, and if they see you're having a bad day, they're not going to kill you in the game of Commander. They are not. They're going to try to get you to have fun. That's what the game of Commander's all about. Or you, like, pretend you have a counter spell, even if you don't. Like, let's say you have 2 mana open, alright? 2 blue mana. And someone says, and I cast a creature or whatever. Tiamat. Yeah, Tiamat's a good example. I cast Tiamat from the command zone. Hold up. You can say, I'm going to, and then you can spend like 2 or 3 minutes going like, And you can like do that, like do it a lot, like do the face of deep concentration while twiddling with your mana, and be like, no, it resolves, even if you don't have a counter spell, because that will make everyone else be like, oh, they probably have a counter spell. I'm probably not going to play my biggest, scariest creature and attack them with it, because they'll just counter it, which is what you would do if you had something like that. Because no one wants to cast a spell and have it not do anything. Because it would really not be great if you played your biggest, scariest creature in your whole deck and you waited 5-10 turns to play or whatever. And you played it, and someone says, tap 2 mana, and I play Counterspell. Or something like that, alright? That would not be great at all. Alright? It's like, do it. Also, the game of Magic the Gathering is all about bluffing. All about it. Even if you don't like to, that's what it's all about. So, like, for example, if you are sitting across from someone, it's all about bluffing, politics and negotiations, and playing in general. Because here's just the logic of it, alright? If someone has a 10-10 flyer, and you have no counterspell in your hand, or you have 2 mana open, you can be like, I'm going to, and you can be like, wait, twiddle with your mana, look around the table, be like, nope, you can do what you want. You can do that because then the player will be like, well, if I attack him, he'll just play a spell and probably get rid of my thing, and I don't want that to happen. And then they'll probably attack someone else, or same thing with spells or anything like that. That's just what will happen. That's what people do. If you have the choice of fighting a player in Magic the Gathering who, let's say, World Tour player who has won thousands of games and is amazing, versus just a normal guy who lives right down the street from you, you're probably going to fight the normal guy. Alright? Unless the World Tour person you really just want to meet and get destroyed by him, right? That's just how that works. Alright? It's just, it's natural instincts, alright? Because you aren't going to, don't be stupid, right? If you go up against the biggest, scariest player, you will most likely get destroyed, right? That's like a tiny guy walking up to a Hydra, and the Hydra is going to eat him, alright? That's just how that works. That's the circle of life. That's how it works, right? Can't do anything about it. Alright, that was all my words of inspiration for the main 2-pick or main topic. And yeah, it was very important. This next part is announcements. Join my Discord server, link in description. Vote on name for podcast and everything else I said in the previous podcast episode. Go do that, please and thank you. And thanks and stuff, because it really means a lot to me that you guys are all here. I got 100 views on my first video about a week or two ago, and that really meant a lot to me. It was my first podcast episode too. Makes me really happy. And yeah, my end step, the one cool thing that's coming up in my life, or board game I play. Well, I play a game called Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know if any of you play it. In a few seconds, I'm going to grab the camera and turn it towards the current Dungeons and Dragons set that me and my brothers are playing. If you would like to watch the Dungeons and Dragons game we are currently playing, you can go subscribe to 311. There will be a little link picture here that says 311. Although I renamed it, it's not 3 brothers, 1 table, 1 game. It's now 3 brothers, 1, I don't remember, right? But it will be here. Go subscribe, alright? Please. And you can watch us play D&D if you like it. So yeah, that's the one cool thing that is coming up in my life, and a board game that I play. I will probably do a review on how to play and how to create a character in a video for 311. So yeah, and then once again, please go get on my Discord. It means a lot to me for all you guys that are on there, which is currently no one. So please go join. You could get shout out in one of these videos. Mentioned, have a podcast episode dedicated to you. Who doesn't love that? You can get an amazing episode dedicated to you. So yeah, really important. Thank you and goodbye. But don't leave, because I'm gonna show you my Dungeons and Dragons set. I hope you enjoy it. Alright, so here's the current setup. Alright, it's me as the DM behind these screens, the Dungeon Master screen and the Pop-Tart screen. And then it's my brother's character Tyler and my other brother's character Dylan. And yeah, we have the books around here somewhere. You come along here. A few of my notes are there. Don't look. We've got the monster manual, some dice. Got Xanathar, and then we've got some more dice. Don't look at that. And we've got some magic items, and we have a lot more dice. So yeah, go subscribe to my Discord and subscribe to 311. Link should be somewhere around here, and go join, please, and thank you.